everybody, I'm Fredric Aasbo. We're here in Ski, Norway, where we keep the Speed Hunters Japan Auto Supra. We've had a great test day today, testing out the new prototype Wisefab front and rear knuckle kit for the Supra. It's a totally new creation that I've been very excited to get to test out. So here's a close-up of the front suspension of the Toyota Supra. And it's different from your regular BMW and Nissan S chassis front suspension design in the way that this setup is a double wishbone setup. And it gave the guys at Wisefab a really good starting point because you can better control how it all works. And today, in the world of drifting, you have a lot of hype about steering angle, a lot of hype about having the most gangster entries, backward entries, all that stuff. And you have a lot of competing brands actually putting out good setups with good steering angle. This kit has by far the most steering lock I've seen in a Toyota Supra, and I've been playing with these cars for quite a bit. It has 66 degrees, which is more than I think you'll need in most competitive battles. But I think what's the greatest thing about this kit is actually all the other aspects. And these guys have built in a lot of drop in the knuckles. You can run super low, which ultimately helps overall grip. They built in adjustable motion ratios for the suspension. They built in adjustable acroman, so you can adapt to, for instance, a guy that's used to driving with a lot of normal acroman, all the way to a guy that wants to have the fastest car out there. So I think this whole kit definitely complements every aspect of drifting, and I think it's by far the best package out there. Wisefab's first kits were front suspension only for the BMWs and for the Nissans, and for this car they wanted to take on the rear knuckle as well, and that was actually what I was most excited about, because I knew that these guys would pull off a crazy front setup. In drifting, we've been trying to get as much forward bite as possible, and what Risto did, their engineer, is that he took his experience from American GT racing into the world of drifting and tried to look at two things. One of them was what does the driver need in terms of forgiving car that has the forward bite you need, and also what makes the fastest car out there. And we've been playing with some, camber changes, we've been playing with camber gain, all that stuff, but Wisefab took that whole thing to a totally new level and engineered a full-on race rear knuckle. So as you can see, this car sits pretty low right now. We still have better than stock suspension geometry, and we have the benefits of running low with low center of gravity. And in testing today, we had wet weather, we had dry weather, and this car hooks up so hard. I've never felt anything like it. When you start drifting, you run into a couple of initial problems that everyone has, and I know I had them. You try and lower the car, you end up with a lot of static camber, you end up with a lot of static toe, and then that's when you start playing with different arms and different arm lengths. But that can only help you with the static angles, not the dynamic angles, which is what happens when the car squats, when you actually drive the car. So Wisefab took all of this into account. They dropped the knuckle about this much. They took care of anti-squat. They took care of toe gain. It's much more static now, and they took out a lot of camber gain also. So you still have plenty of room to play with the car the way you want it. So you can still add toe, you can still add camber, but everything else is taken care of by professionals. And I think for all of us in drifting, this is the biggest thing since sliced bread. Some people say you don't need lock to succeed in drifting, and some people say kits like these makes it easier. I try and look at it a different way. I mean, if you improve as a driver, you want the car to improve with you. And this kit certainly allows you to, because you can have a lot of fun getting out the new possibilities, getting out the new optimal settings for you. And the diversity of this kit really allows you to. And this kit comes for sale this summer. It becomes a part of Wisefab's ever-growing range of BMW, Nissan, and now Toyota kits. And I think you should check it out.